So why, as John rightly says, did you not give them an opportunity to mitigate the problems that you'd had? Why not take it back to them?
Because it was getting booked in for the MOT on there. I went on the Monday to get it booked in for the
Your
MOT.
own company?
As we agreed with the guy who bought the car off, that he didn't have a problem with.
He's took it to his own garage, knowing that they'll charge additional costs with the mechanic. But if he took it to our garage, our local garage, the cost could have been settled.
Here's the thing, listen, Andy. Let's leave aside any damage to the vehicle or any problem with the vehicle or any mechanics fees, right, to repair any problem. Before the car was broken down, Andy was only going to take that car in for an MOT. He wasn't going to charge you for it, or your company for it. It was going to be at his expense.
Did the car break down?
It wasn't going to be at his expense. Listen just about the MOT and don't interrupt me. Why should he not, in principle, be able to go and get an MOT and pay for it himself? What's the problem with that?
Who pays for the failure?
Well, we'll come on to that. Who do you think pays for the failure?
If he's took the car MOT'd himself, he pays for his own failures. Correct.
In other words, he's taken a car away. The car is defective because an independent mechanic has found that it's not sufficient merchandisable quality. And you say, well, that's his fault. I just need to put that down in big because that's your legal submission on behalf of your company.
Yes.
Yes, I see. Now, you took it into your mechanic.
Booked it in for its MOT. It failed on two anti...
Something about balls and joints.
Yeah, drop-link ball joints, sorry.
And what was wrong with the turbo system?
There was a whine on the turbo.
Well, that's not a professional diagnosis. What exactly was
When it went in for its MOT work, I asked the garage to...
Can I ask something?
In a moment. Don't interrupt.
I asked the garage...
Excuse me. Don't interrupt. You'll be given an opportunity to make representations. Yes.
I asked the garage to check out the whine.
It says, important information and advisory notices. Suspected turbo fault causing whistle and whine. And it says how much it would cost to repair. Just to be clear, when you test drove that vehicle, there was no whine.
No.
There was no whistling.
But when I test drove the vehicle, both passenger and driver's window was down.
That's not his fault.
No.
Correct?
Correct.
I understand. Now, that deals with the problem with the ball joint that I've got and the MOT. But you've got a problem in respect of the turbo, because one of the difficulties is that you have to demonstrate that they know, or should have known, that they've sold you a car which is of insufficient quality. In law, you need to demonstrate that the car was sold in good condition. Do you understand that?
Correct.
What evidence do you have that the car was in good condition? What would you like me to consider as part of your case?
He test drove the car. He came on numerous occasions, looked around the car. He couldn't pull no faults with the car.
It wasn't just, was it, that you sold the car on behalf of this company. I'm right to say you owned this car
That's
before.
Correct.
Very, very important. How long did you have it for?
Possibly several late months, like I'd say 8 to 12 months, something.
Did you at any stage notice that the car had been whistling, or there had been any problems with the turbo whatsoever?
No.
What's the state of the car now, please?
It's perfectly fine. Now I've got it fixed.
Coming next.
End of the day, should have brought it straight to us. We could have fixed the problem, got onto it, and that was it. End of. That's my finish with it. I'm done.
I was basically going to have a word with my team and the resources we had to help him execute that vision.
When you say we, do you mean the royal we? I mean, I sometimes refer to myself in that sort of way. We are not impressed with your contract, that sort of thing.
Andy is in court to claim back £705.55 for the replacement of the turbo and other repair costs on his car, which he says was missold. Defendant John, a representative from the dealership, says they were not given the opportunity to repair the car, therefore they owe nothing.
Andy, before I come to my judgment, I want to be absolutely fair. In your evidence bundle that you provided to me, which I considered in my chambers, you also provided some text messages, which you say are supportive of your claim.
Yeah.
Help me with what part of the text messages you say are relevant to your case?
The bit where the whistle is because of the remap, the fuel consumption.
You say this, that you received the whistle is because it's been remapped for better fuel consumption. Right, the turbo engine was interfered with in some way.
Not as if interfered with. It got fine-tuned, which brought it up to extra miles per gallon. That's why the car actually does, like, unbelievable miles per gallon.
When was the car fine-tuned?
Before I bought it.
Before you bought it?
Before I bought it.
For more Judge Rinder cases, click here. And if you've got a legal issue yourself, get in touch with us by clicking over here.